Mining update, lesson about the industry and job hunt. Welcome to Australian Mining for New Starters, and for those that are new to the channel, today's video is all about updating you on the prices. We're going to do a lesson. Today's lesson is going to be about the experience that the employers want out of a new starter, and then we're going to do a job hunt. So let's get started. Let's have a look at the gold price, and as you can see, the gold price is still nice and high. It's over $3,500 an ounce Australian. It's almost $2,400 an ounce US, but at that price everybody is going crazy everywhere here in Australia trying to ramp up production, and that's where the majority of the jobs are, and you'll see that when we start looking at the jobs at the end of the video. Next one is coal. Coal is 105, so that's gone down slightly. We've already talked about this on the video. At this price, a lot of mines, unfortunately, around the country are a bit marginal, so that's why there's not a lot of coal jobs going at the moment. And then if we have a look at iron ore is $111 a tonne. And like we've talked about in the video before, iron ore's mostly gone driverless. There are a few opportunities with BHP and FMG and Roy Hill. They're still putting a few people on, but nowhere near the amount of people that they used to put on back in the day. And the last thing is the copper price is $14,494 a tonne. So copper price is really high. So this is our map of Australia with all our base metal and gold mines on it. So it's mostly copper and gold through here that everybody's looking for, so that's why we've got it lined up. And you can see the jobs are all over, or the mines are all over the country. So with today's lesson, I want to talk about experience, because a lot of people think that the experience that you need to get onto one of these mine sites is knowing how to drive a truck, or having lots of manual labouring experience or something like that. When in reality, what really floats the employer's boat is knowing how their mine site works. So what do I mean by that? Well, I'm going to take you over to the training that we do. So this is my mining coach account on the Underground Training website. So we've logged into it, and we're just going to jump on to basic mine site operation, which is the first course. And we're going to expand it out. So the first module is duties of miners, so that's all the technical side of things, so it goes into the law and the legislation. This one's more about the operational side of things, so we're going to click on ground support, have a look at the ground support one. And as you can see, it goes through all the different sorts of ground support that we use, the rock bolts, how the jumbo installs it, how the mesh is put in, how the shotcrete's installed. It's got videos showing you how it all works. It goes through the different sorts of bolts, so chemical bolts and cable bolts. Teaches you exactly how it works completely. And that's what they want. They want people that know how it all works. And with this one, you can go through, and it goes through the development process for mining, taking a cut, firing the cut, the escapeways, production mining, so stopes, paste fill, goes through the whole mining cycle. And this first course just gives you an idea of what it teaches you. It teaches you all about the different jobs that are around the place, scaling, so it goes through all the different things in scaling, and hazardous workplace and surviving the first 6 months. If we jump over to the NIPA course, which is the second course, you can see it does the same thing. It goes through all the NIPA's duties, so it runs through everything that you need to know about all that sort of stuff. Watering down. This is all the stuff that the employers want you to know. Teaching you how to drive the truck only takes a couple of weeks, but teaching you everything that's in this training can take people months to get their head around. So if you already walk through the door into an interview knowing all this, it gives you a huge advantage over everybody else, and that's the experience that the employers want. You can have a look on our new starters page. There's a page down here, entry-level mining job experience, and it runs through basically what I've just said. You know, these are all the sort of questions that you should be able to ask yourself, or you should be able to answer if you're going for a mining job. These are the sort of things that they want you to know. These are the things that they need you to know to be able to leave you alone. And that's why the training works really well. It gets you up to speed on how the mine works, so you can actually hold a proper conversation with the foreman in the interview. And when you can do that, that's what gets you the job. So there's lots of work all over the country. It's just a matter of giving them what they want, somebody that knows how it all works. And you've got work in the middle of New South Wales, there's lots here, there's lots in the north of Queensland, lots over here in WA, heaps of WA, lots of copper in the middle of South Australia, you got gold up in the north of Queensland. There's lots of mines all over the country, all looking for people. So if we jump into our job hunt section now, so if we type underground into Seek and give it a spin, you'll see this is where the majority of the jobs are. So if we come through, you'll see a nipper's job with McMahon's, you'll see entry level with Barminco, entry level with Northern Star, Corora Resources, they're the ones with the nickel/gold mine out near Cambelda, so they're looking for nippers and truck drivers there. You've got Goldfields are looking for truck drivers, fly in, fly out. Evolution are looking for truck and nipper operators. You can just see truck operators with burn cut and nipper. Nipper again. Underground multi-skill operators, Olympic Dam. So that'll be an entry-level one as well. Underground service crew. There's just jobs everywhere. Nipper again. And if you can show the employer that you know how the mine works, then you've actually got something to offer them. There's Hillgrove Resources, that's in the Adelaide Hills, they're looking for people. You've got Calibre Resources, they've taken people from us in the past. They're up in Mount Isa, they're looking for people. Yeah, underground truck. It's just roles everywhere, all across the country, and that's just the first page. So you can look through it all and have a really good look yourself and go through it, but that's where the majority of the jobs are now. So the majority of the entry-level jobs, it's all moved. It's gone from the surface truck driving to underground truck driving. That's where the majority of the jobs are. And if we just click on surface and come and have a look at surface, you'll see all the surface jobs on the front page. It's all drillers, offsiders, or experienced operators. So they're looking for multi-skilled operators, so people that have been in the industry for a long period of time. They're not necessarily looking for entry-level people, except for the drillers offsiders. They're looking for lots of entry-level drillers offsiders all over the country, surface and underground. My standard line to everybody is that if you want to work on the surface and drillers offsiding and you want to go out bush, then you need to like camping. If you like camping, then you're probably getting paid a lot of money to do stuff that you like to do. But if you don't like camping and having to cook everybody's dinner at the end of the day and living in a caravan or a tent or whatever they've got you in, then you may not like surface offsiding. Underground offsiding's a bit different because you're always at a camp, because the underground mine's always got a camp attached to it, so you get your own room, they feed you, you don't have to worry about that. All you have to do is do your job. And so a lot of people prefer the underground offsiding to start with, just purely because of that. And so the next one we're going to have a look at is drillers offsiding, and you can see all the surface stuff. So there's lots of surface stuff around, but there's also lots of underground stuff going where they need people. So like I said, it's just horses for courses with all that. There's entry-level jobs all over the place. Drillers offsiding can be a good place to start. You've got your stuff around Dubbo and central New South Wales. It's just work everywhere. It's just, and like I said, with any of these jobs, the drillers offsiders or the underground truck or the nipper or the service crew or pace fill or anything like that, you just got to give them what they want, somebody that knows how their mine works. So, refuge chambers, cap lamp signals, all that sort of stuff. If you know all that and you can get all that out of the training, then you've definitely got something to offer them. So lastly, let's have a look at the FIFO utility, and we've already talked a bit about this in the past. Couple of videos that I've done. The money's not that great. It's about $80,000 a year for a 2-on-1 roster, so that works out to be about $26.50, $27 an hour, which isn't wonderful. The reason that you've got these $34.35 job ads around is because those are casual, so you're not full time. So if you're going to go in as a casual and they're going to move you to permanent, you're going to lose about a quarter of your wage. So a lot of those $35 an hour will come back to that $27 an hour when you go full time. So just be aware of that, because a lot of people get trapped into that. They think that the $35 or the $40 an hour that they're offering as a casual is going to be transferred over to full time, and then when they go to the full time, it goes down to a lot less. So that's a real trap that I get a lot of feedback off people. But yeah, so there's lots of work all over the country. It's just a matter of giving them what they want, somebody that knows how it all works. And if you really, really want a job as quickly as possible, my suggestion is to do the Intro to Underground Mining course, the DIY here. It's $495, teaches you everything that you need to know. There's full instructions on how to redo your resume in interview prep. If you don't want to redo, if you want your resume done, the 3-step plan package has a resume service attached to it, and also you've got the work ready that comes with a full resume service as well. But most people jumping in, if you're just jumping in and you're not sure, you can upgrade to those other packages, so you can just spend the $495 here, buy that, make sure it's for you, and then if you want to upgrade to get your resume done, you can. You just go into the shop and there's an upgrade button there to do it all. But the first thing that you need to do is work out whether mining's actually going to be for you or not, and the easiest way to work that out is by doing the training, because all that information in there teaches you how it all works, and it's the experience that the employers want. They need people that they can throw in the deep end. So that's the lesson for the day, is the experience that the employers want is knowing how the mine works, not driving the truck. Only takes a couple of weeks to teach you how to drive the truck. Nobody has a lot of trouble with that. What everybody struggles with is learning enough about how the mine works so you can be left alone by yourself. The longer you need somebody there with you, the more they ramp the pressure up, and the more they ramp the pressure up, the more people they turn over. It's as simple as that. So making sure you know what you're walking yourself into is really, really important in this if you want to survive, because unfortunately, when you go in green, they turn over more than 50% of those new starters. It's not one company, it's every company. It's just the way it is. It instantly becomes sink or swim training when you get to site, and you don't get to work through it at your own pace, you're on their pace. So if you really don't pick it up very quickly, then you've got no chance. That's the beautiful thing about the training, is that it gives you that opportunity to go through it at your own pace and learn the information that you need to learn at your own pace before you get there. And it just frees you up once you get to site just to learn how to drive the truck, find your way around site and just slip into it. And like I tell people, the first time that you go underground or go onto the mine site, when you've done the training, everybody else that you're there with is going to be freaking out because they've got no idea what they're looking at. But for you, the first time that you go down into the pit or go down underground, it becomes a great big game of I Spy, because you know what everything is. So instead of freaking out and wondering what the hell that is, you already know, and that just makes such a huge difference in not only getting the job, but also keeping the job, surviving the first 6 months, and climbing up through the ladder, which there is a lot of opportunity at the moment, especially with the gold price at the price that it is. It's a huge price. So at that price, everybody's ramping up and having to put people on. So I hope you found that information helpful, and if you've got any questions about the industry, please send them through, and if you could share this video around and like and subscribe the channel. Thanks.